Well, good morning, everyone. I'm out here and I wanted to show you before I go into the video on how I do my cuttings and get them to root. Last year, this right here was a cutting. None of this was here on this growth part. None of this on this side. It went from the bottom up and I left it to about right here on this node. And then the growth after getting rooted, pushed all this other stuff right here. So this is now a plant, but was once a cutting last year. So jumping right into this is how I maintain my soil mix in the propagation room. I keep this clear tote locked on both sides to help protect the soil from all the nasty stuff like bugs, fungus, and those damn insect eggs. But before I plant my mulberry cuttings, I let them soak in water for about 48 hours to help them fully hydrate the wood. After letting my mulberry cuttings hydrate for 48 hours, I dip the ends into my rooting hormone before planting them into the chunky soil mix. The rooting hormone helps encourage faster root development, while the mix keeps the perfect balance of airflow and moisture for healthy cuttings. The final thing for me to do is to get it watered in, just like this. You definitely don't want to overwater these. That way you don't lose any soil, but I'm using my Sharpie and I make the holes in there for each of them. That way whenever I put my cuttings in there after dipping them into the rooting hormone at the bottom, I put them in that hole and I'm able to secure them in that hole without losing any of that rooting hormone versus puncturing it into the soil and having a good chance of losing a lot of that rooting hormone. Now, even though it looks like I'm going super lightning speed, you got to be very careful once you're dipping your cuttings into that rooting hormone. Normally, you don't want to touch it with your fingers. A lot of people wear latex gloves or some sort of protection. So there's a total of 20 thick cuttings and 20 cups that you see down below. I have 2 extra that I'm going to place in a clear cup after I get it prepped by cutting 2 holes at the bottom of the cup for drainage. This technique is fairly cheap, and I wouldn't recommend reusing the cups because over time they'll degrade, but using these 3-inch cups, I could reuse those over and over again after washing them off. So now all figs are potted up, and now we're gonna let nature take its course. So this bin right here, look how easy it is just to close this thing up, lock it in, and voila. I don't have to worry about it until my next use. And the final thing is to label and mark my cuttings. So today's the 13th. We'll give it in a couple weeks. We'll check the progress and I'll let you guys know how it looks.